Well guys, we are obviously in January now, as you can see, and there is some transfer business going on at Barnsley FC. Welcome back to our FM22 Journeyman, where we attempt to go from non-league football to winning the Champions League. Back again with Barnsley, of course, and as I mentioned, there are some transfers going on at the club. But before we even look at that, can we just appreciate the amount of transfer income we've brought in versus how much we've spent this season? So £20.5 million of transfer revenue brought into the club, and we've only actually spent 4.2 million. Lots of transfers out since the last episode. A couple of them are loans. Kai Jones, Oliver Kemp going out on loan, as has Rositier and Jordan Jones, so they've all just gone out to get some football. The main ones are these. Kohasi has gone now. He was complaining about game time and wanting to leave. He hasn't actually played a lot for us this season, but for a player we've got on a free, he's gone over to the Centurion in Belgium for 4.1 million, so we've made a really nice chunk of profit on him. Brandon Austin has gone over to Monaco to be their goalkeeper. We bought him for 200,000. He's been a nice backup, and he's now gone over to Monaco for 300,000, so a very small amount of profit on him, but that's fine because we have replaced him, which we'll see in a minute. Tom Pearce, another one, hasn't played a huge amount of games for us. We have made a substantial loss on Tom Pearce, but he was just causing problems in the dressing room, so we needed to shift him off. Roland Aarons is the miss buy that I said I made at the start of the season. We've made a tiny itsy bitsy profit on him, and he's dropped down the league, but it's got his wages off the books because he never actually played a game for us. This one's quite a big one, considering I wanted to use this guy as my right winger this season, is Julius Kroner. Now Julius Kroner's gone over to Brentford in the Premier League, 6.5 million. A bit annoying because he is a Barnsley youth player, but when we have played him this season, he hasn't been fantastic, to be honest. He wasn't really ready for this level, and again, another one who moaned until we eventually let him go. So far we've bought in 2 players, and I think for a net transfer of what is this, less than £50,000, it's quite a good set of deals. We've bought in Lino Caston. Lino Caston is a goalkeeper. As you can see, we're replacing Brandon Austin. He's a good championship level already. He's played 1 game for us and he didn't concede a goal. In fact, he got a 7.6 rating, which is not a bad debut. As we can see, we only paid, like I said before, £28,000 for him to bring him over from Wolfsburg. He had a really good season at Wolfsburg. Didn't play a lot of games, but he's had a good season when he has made appearances. Okay, last season, let's just ignore that average rating and hope that he likes this league. Derek Abu is a right back that we've brought over from Chelsea. He's going to be playing obviously a right wing back in our formation, and he is already a good championship level player with decent Premier League potential, which again I think for £18,000 is an absolute steal. Have a check back on my Twitter as well if you want to see what they were asking us to pay for him originally, but they wanted lots of future percentages for that, so we've ended up paying a little bit more for him, but they weren't asking for very much to start with. Go over, have a look at my Twitter, follow me on there. The link will be down in the description. All of that though, we've played I believe 3 matches since our last video. So we saw those 2 losses against Huddersfield and Blackburn. We have now managed to beat Stoke, Charlton and Birmingham. Not emphatically at all for any of those ones, but it does mean we are now in the automatic playoff positions only by 1 point, and a lot can change, but we are there. Our focus for the first match today though is our FA Cup tie against Crystal Palace, who are in the Premiership, so it could be a bit of a stern test for us. Let's go see how we manage against a Premier League team. This is our lineup for today. We've got Caston in goal. Back 3 here of Mawson, Cooper and Braithwaite, with Braderick and Abu out on the wings. Oakley, Booth and Blinkhorn in midfield, albeit in the wrong position, so we'll just switch them around. Gonotto on the left wing with Samiento out on the right, and Kleimanchuk up front. Kleimanchuk not been playing very much recently because he's been out injured. I think he had a virus. Woodrow as well got injured in the last month. He's out for 2 to 4 months, which is less than ideal. Joe Rawls out for a couple of weeks as well. Godwin Melise still not back from his injury. Zinger's also out for another month or so. Just Van's injured. And we can see as well we've got a bid on Adrian Zelchenko that I can't pronounce his name. 4.8 million from Brighton. He'll probably be going, as will Bosnick, because he's asking to leave. We've promised he can go. Noel Carroll will be going out on loan, so there will still be transfers over this episode and probably the next one as well. And hopefully what those transfers don't do is impact our dynamics in any way, because we have been on a tendency to have good form this season. It's not always been good form, but more often than not, we're in a decent vein of form. It's just then we come back to YouTube and we lose 2 games in a row because we like collapsing live. Crystal Palace don't look like they are having a fantastic season based on that recent form, and that is a very defensive formation to be playing against a championship team, if I'm honest. If you do enjoy today's episode, of course, please do drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel as well. It's always very, very much appreciated if you do. We're kicking off the match here, though. Can we get anything against Crystal Palace today? That is going to be the question. It's very unlikely, I would say. They are a Premier League team. We have seen in the last episode we can struggle fairly consistently against championship teams. That is a very strange cross from Abu there. Braderick has got that on the left wing now. We are getting near the Crystal Palace box, so maybe we can do something with this very early attack. Oakley Booth on the outside of the box now. Braithwaite. No, we're going to do absolutely nothing with that, and now it is a Crystal Palace corner. Not what we want to be seeing. We know we like to concede goals early, and it is a penalty, and Oakley Booth has got a yellow card, and here comes the early goal that I just said we like to concede. This is not what you want, going 1-0 down against a Crystal Palace side who are in the Premiership, and that's also going to break Caston's clean sheets that he's had since he joined the club. How dare you, Oakley Booth? Look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've literally single-handedly broken Paul Caston's heart. It's just not good enough, really, is it? We're going to tell him to ease off tackles now. I don't really want him getting a yellow card this early on in the match if I can help it. Not in an ideal world. Anyway, I do think in a minute I need to just fiddle as well with our set pieces, because Cooper's the guy I want it to be aiming for. But I have a feeling he wasn't playing there when I set these set pieces up, so it's not actually aiming for him. Braithwaite there, getting in front of the Crystal Palace striker. Then nod that one back to Caston, and now we can start to build our own attack from the back. Braithwaite is the one to do that. Sarmiento seeing the run of Abu. Abu, has he got the pace? Not quite, but he has managed to keep on the ball, cutting it back to Oakley Booth. Oakley Booth, you need to do something this match now to redeem yourself, really. Blinkhorn. Gnotto, Kleimunchuk, and he's not quite managed to get it on target. Just pausing there while I choke on air. Oxygen is a hard thing to digest, apparently, when you're talking. Another attack for us here, though. Braderick now with the ball into the box. I'm not really sure what he did there. He kind of overran and tackled himself. Mawson launching this one in, though. Gnotto now. Oh, that's unfortunate. Very, very close to getting a goal there. Didn't manage to quite get that on target. I don't know if he rushed that a little bit or what he did there. Annoying though, because that could have got us back in the tie. We are going to play for those set pieces. I still haven't fiddled with those set pieces. I said it was going to. I really should do that if we're going to play for set pieces. Gnotto cutting that one back to Braderick. Blinkhorn, and now Gnotto again cutting inside over to Sarmiento. Kleimunchuk's got a goal against Crystal Palace. This boy, if we get there, will be able to do it in the Premier League again, provided we still have him, because that relegation, I keep calling it relegation clause, a release clause that he's got does make me a little bit jumpy, especially when we're in the January transfer window. Sarmiento into Kleimunchuk there, just for him to slot home really nicely. Beautiful goal, really simple. It's what we want. We're back in the tie against the Premier League side. Can't ask for a lot more than that, really. Crystal Palace have got a free kick here on the edge of the area, though. Oxy Booth, after getting a yellow card and giving away a penalty, has now got himself injured, and Crystal Palace have just scored off a free kick. Oh dear, we were back in that tie for, 5 minutes or so? It's a really good free kick, to be fair, although Caston there doing absolutely nothing to attempt to save it, which is less than ideal, and we literally were back in the tie for about 8 minutes or so. Braithwaite's also got a yellow card, so we probably need to tell him to ease off tackles, and Oakley Booth is injured, so we need to get him off the field. Not a great game here for him. Offaboru's going to come on instead. He's just signed a new contract as well, keeping him here for a little bit longer. He is one that I wouldn't have been too mad about selling, but I don't want to sell all my players at once. I mean, we've just got rid of Kohasi. I don't think we want to get rid of Offaboru and everyone else as well. Abu's got a 6.1 rating. Oh dear, what is going on? I mean, That's such a bad rating that despite the fact I've already made a substitution, I'm going to have to bring on another one. We'll bring on Callum Britton here because we cannot leave him with that rating on the field and let him continue to decline. Another highlight with us back on the ball then. Braithwaite surging forward. I mean surging. Surging's a bit of a loose term here. Isn't surging so much as sauntering forward. And we have still got the ball. We've kind of just passed it to the Crystal Palace goalkeeper, but he's given it back. He's a nice lad. Blinkhorn now. My game seems to be running really, really slowly here. Or we're just playing really slow-paced football. I can't work out which one it is. I mean, I think, there we go. That's more like it. It's probably because my game has decided to slow itself down. Roderick clearing the ball here, but our defenders managing to get up above the Crystal Palace striker. And we can now try and launch another counter-attack. What we really need is a goal, guys. Mawson, yeah, I'm getting surging forward, sauntering forward, who knows? Sarmiento sees the player out wide. Britton running onto that one. Can he get across into the box? He can, but there's nobody there. Kleimunchuk hadn't quite managed to arrive into the area in front of the Crystal Palace defenders. And that ball is cut out before Gnotto can get to it as well. Is he on a yellow card? Someone was then. I didn't actually see who it was. Never mind. Crystal Palace's attack once again cut out by our three defenders at the back. Blinkhorn trying to get that one out wide to Britton. Crystal Palace defender getting there first though. And we are going to see the resulting throw-in. Britton now going to be taking this one off of Boru is the man that he chooses to throw it to. And Sarmiento playing a ball forward for Britton. It's a little bit ambitious. I don't think he can A, run that fast, or B, that he is actually that tall. It was an interesting choice of pass there from Sarmiento. It was an attempt, I guess, at launching an attack. It just seemed like a not very well thought out one. Hey ho, never mind. It's only Crystal Palace we're playing against. And now Blinkhorn is tripping up the Crystal Palace player who wasn't really doing a lot at the time. He's just kind of got annoyed with them playing from the back and trying to waste a little bit of time and control possession and all that malarkey. And put his foot in and gone, look, play football properly, lads. We're here to put on a spectacle for YouTube and the fans in attendance. Is that Blinkhorn again? No, that's Kleimunchuk that time. He's going to get carded for that. It is only a yellow card. Thank God for that. I thought that was going to be a red then. This is a bit of an awkward performance so far because we're not doing badly, but equally I feel like we need to be doing more in order to go back against Crystal Palace because they are obviously a Premier League team. Regardless of how they're doing in the Premier League, they are a Premier League team, and that kind of, you know, means that they are probably fractionally better than us and have fitter players and all of that stuff. They're all very, very consummate professionals, whereas our guys, I don't mean they're not professionals, but we have a bit of a mixed bunch. We've still got some Sky Bet League One quality players, and that was an awful pass. Kleimunchuk managing to do something with it, though. Can we launch an attack here? Kind of. Gnotto, we can launch an attack. That is the second goal we needed. Gnotto's been really, really good. I'll be almost disappointed if we do get to the Premier League because it means we have to end our affiliation with Man City. And this guy, obviously, we're not paying him any of his wages. And I can absolutely not afford to purchase him because he's worth about £36 million now. And his wages are quite expensive compared to most of our players. You think, like, I think Kleimunchuk we're paying about £3,000 a week, which is absolutely ridiculous for the contribution he brings to the team. Gnotto, in comparison, I want to say about £36,000 to £40,000 a week. It's probably the salary of our top sort of 4 or 5 players combined. So we really, really can't afford to play that. I think even if we did get to the Premier League, it's not something we could really pay in our first season. Maybe a couple of seasons in if we were doing all right and maybe getting a lower mid-table finish. Ramsey through on goal here. Caston finally making the save that I was seeing him being capable of in the last match I played. Hadn't really shown it on screen so far today. Blinkhorn looking a little bit tired, as are some of our defenders, and there are some not so great performances going on, namely from my back three. So where do I make the substitution? Blinkhorn, I think, is the guy who needs to come off. Bakuna can play there. You play all right as a central midfielder? You do. I didn't know if you wanted to play in that role, if I was going to have to change you to something else. But you seem like you do all right there. And we are still in this tie with 15 odd minutes left. I'd prefer, if possible, not to get a replay. We are coming right to the end of the match here. Are we going to see a last highlight? I don't think we are. It's going to be a 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace. I guess a 2-2 draw against the Premier League team is all right, to be fair. We've done all right to come back from that. I'm going to agree with what I literally just said on screen. We've done okay there. Oh, and then I need to go deal with some contract negotiations. I'll be back for the next match against Reading in a minute. So no transfers happened as yet, but this is our lineup for that match against Reading. We've got Caston remaining in goal, back three of Offaboru, Cooper and Braithwaite, Braderick and Godwin Malif out on the wings, Blinkhorn, Bakuna in midfield, Gnotto and Sarmiento and Kleimunchuk the front three today. Let's hope we can keep up our decent run of form in the league with a good result here though. At least that's the plan, but it doesn't always work out like that, especially when we are recording on YouTube apparently. We do always seem to be very camera shy with our teams, and there is Palmer, the former Barnsley Football Club player as well. Would you be disappointed that you've left Barnsley, where you would have been an absolute key player, and we're now in the automatic promotion spots, when you've moved to Reading, and I don't know how much of a key player you are, and you're in the playoff spots, but you are below us in the league? I'm not really sure at that point. I guess they probably do, on player for player value, have the better team. Also, all of our players at the moment, considering how well we want to do, or how well we are doing in the league, all of our players seem to want to leave in this January transfer window. It could be by the start of next episode, be a very different look Barnsley FC team. And what I'm hoping that does happen there is we improve the squad and we continue challenging for some sort of promotion spot. And what we don't do is end up with a load of team that have never met each other, don't know how to play together, and completely ruin the dynamics. At the moment, we seem to be just getting not pummeled by Reading, but we don't seem to be offering a lot in the way of attacking threat at the moment. Caston trying to change that one. That one's nodded down to Kleimunchuk. Blinkhorn now. Gnotto again. Blinkhorn again through to Kleimunchuk. Kleimunchuk, oh, it's a vicious shot. Not on target, but a vicious shot. The goalkeeper would have felt that one if he had saved that. That would have stung his gloves a little bit there. And Gnotto is injured. Oh dear Lord, we have a lot of injuries going on. To the point, I'm not really sure what to do with them all. I mean, we could put Braderick there and then put Williams over here. Bakuna could... I mean, Sarmiento could go there. Bakuna could go there. But at the moment, we've got no one to put in midfield, which is an interesting situation. I mean, we could put Offaboru there. Oh, this is a bit of a switcheroo. Offaboru there. Godwin Malif here. And then that means bringing on Callum Britton over on this side. That is probably as good as we're going to get it at the moment. One injury has caused all that trouble. Kleimunchuk with the corner here. Over to Cooper. Cooper. Good header on target. Palmer, the one denying his former club from scoring. Does it feel good, Palmer? Does it feel good? I'm assuming it probably does. Free kick here for Reading though, into the box, and they've managed to get ahead to it. We're doing this thing again where we just collapse for no reason. Oh, it is offside, but we should have probably defended that one better to start with. It shouldn't have even got to the point of being offside. I think we should have cleared that before a Reading player got to it. Britain trying to do something here for us though. Offaboru back to Britain. Back to Offaboru again. Lots of 1-2s always happening on that side between the wing back and the central midfielder. Blinkhorn to Kleimunchuk now. We're just kind of dancing around the area a little bit here without actually offering very much in the way of attacking threat here. Blinkhorn to Kleimunchuk. Can he play that one through? He can't. It goes out to Britain. That one's been played through into Kleimunchuk, who's smashed that one into the crowd way above the bar. And now it's another Reading attack here. Can we do anything with this one? Can we defend it? Can we launch a counter attack? Can we do something? It is a shot for Reading there. It's a good save from Caston, to be fair, keeping us in the match there. Can you go away please, menu? Thank you. And we'll tell Callum Britton to man mark whoever our assistant manager has just told him to man mark, because that seems to make some sort of sense. We're going to encourage the team a little bit here as well. We're not doing too badly, but I don't feel like we're doing great against Reading here. It is likely to be one of the harder matches we'll have in the league this season. Blinkhorn played that one forward really nicely. Sarmiento, though, he has been tackled but managed to keep hold of the ball. Sort of shrugged off that challenge. Kleimunchuk over to Bakuna, playing that one forward to Britain. Now Britain's into the box. That hit the crossbar as it went over. That was really close. It was a good shot for, you know, a defender, to be fair. And we do arrive at half-time, though, with 0-0 on the scoreboard. We're told the team we've been the better team. I'd kind of debate that a little bit. I'm not sure if that's an entire truth I just told in our team talk, but it is what we're going to go with. Braderick looking a little bit tired as well now. I do feel like that's probably a substitution we want to make sooner rather than later. We'll bring on Jordan Williams for him, just confirm that substitution. We have got roughly 20 minutes left now, and we have seen 0 highlights so far in this second half. Blinkhorn is equally tired now, as is Kleimunchuk, and we are vastly running out of players to actually bring on, though. Bozanic can come on for Kleimunchuk just for this last sort of 15 minutes or so. I don't think he's going to manage to do anything in that time. He seems to be a player that sort of slow burns rather than does anything too early. That throw-in has found Sarmiento in the box, though. Back to Williams. Williams with a beautiful shot. That was a fantastically well-worked set piece. I don't know how much of that was on purpose. Have we done that on the training ground recently? Possibly. I don't always attend the training sessions, if I'm honest. Sarmiento playing it back to Williams, who threw the initial ball onto the pitch, and it is a really, really good finish from him. Now it's just, do we collapse and let Reading score a goal late on? We do seem to, yes we do. I was about to say, we do seem to have that habit of, if we actually score a goal late, immediately letting the opposition team come back and put one in themselves. And again, it's off a free kick. We don't seem to be able to defend free kicks. I don't know what I need to change about that. What was that attempt at a save, Caston? You were doing really well until then. That was a ridiculous attempt at a save, though. Sarmiento cannot quite win that one in front of the Reading player. Reading are on the attack again, or at least are trying to be on the attack again. It's played back to their defender, all the way back to their goalkeeper now. Can we go and press that one? Not really. Not enough players there pressing for my liking. We're all kind of in our own half at the moment. It's been played out wide, and we're not pressing that ball either. Guys, can we attempt to get the ball back before Reading get in our box? Please and thank you. No, we can't. Okay, so we've literally got to go very attacking to try and get anything out of this tie in the last 5 minutes or so. How did this happen? We were 1-0 up, what? When did we score that goal? On the 84th minute. So 2 minutes ago, we were 1-0 up. And now we're 2-1 down. That was an interesting sort of 3 or 4 minutes there. This team is very frustrating. We draw against Crystal Palace. We have some really good matches, and then we also have matches like this, and that is going to drop us outside of those automatic promotion spots. We are still in the playoff positions, but we're now 2 points again behind those automatic spots. I feel like we need to get some slightly better, more consistent players in this January transfer window. Hopefully we'll have some of them by next episode. If you have enjoyed this one, of course, please do drop a like down below and hit the subscribe button while you're down there. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe whenever you want, but there's loads of stuff for you to have a look at on the channel. Tutorials, tip videos, and this Journeyman save 4 times a week for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, there, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you over on the next one. But until then, why not have a look at this video next?